And the balance of the bi and the tri is very, very important. To where when we throw up a back double bicep or a front double bicep, if the bicep and the tricep is balanced, it makes a better illusion of the size and also the separation of each muscle group. What are you doing? I'm Kirk Fontenot, and we're getting ready for the Real Lone Star Championships in 8 weeks. And today we're going to be working biceps and triceps, and I'll be explaining to you, talking to you about a balance, how important a balance is, and not only with the physique, but with nutrition as well. It's just an order about keeping a balance together, of knowing exactly how many grams of carbs, how many grams of protein, and how much sodium and essential fatty acids to maintain that stability. You know, the uniqueness of it is that each time I do this process prior to a show, it's like my body's never the same. It keeps reaching a level, the next level after each show. And of course, what I'm doing is I'm documenting the changes, and also where I need to decrease or increase of any element that I'm taking in. Just basically just the squeeze at the top, and the 2 seconds down is just to feel the negative, as well as the positive coming up, and just making a true contraction. Now basically I'm holding the dumbbell in the palm of my hand, where all the emphasis can be just totally on the bicep, and slightly just bent over to where it's taking it out of the shoulder. And the reason why I'm using these straps is because it allows me to come down with my natural range of motion. Because the older we get, we really have to watch our angles, or the tendons and the ligaments tend to, a big bind gets to be put on them. To where with these straps, I can come down each time, and it just goes to my natural groove. Then I got my hands slightly angled like this, to where I'm working the front head of the the tricep. And when I turn my hands more inward like this, then I'm working more the inner tricep. And then again, it's 1 second down, squeezing, and 2 seconds up to feel the negative. When you're hitting it on stage in your symmetry poses and your mandatories, you want both heads to be extended, outer head and inner head. For the inner head of the tricep, I'm doing the dips now, the assisted dip machine, and it allows me with weight assistance. I don't have my total body weight doing my first set. Okay, now some of us are really strong with that aspect, with that particular exercise. I'm not, so I had to build myself up to it. But having that little bit of assistance allows me to position myself on the 2 bars, and just basically, if you can picture yourself just sitting on the palms of your hands and slightly turning your wrist to where you're totally comfortable with the groove of coming down and just making an L shape when you come down, and just compressing on the palm of your hand, which executes the exercise. You just dial on the total back of the arm. You don't even feel it in the shoulders or the chest, to where when you're being assisted, you have your feet and your legs almost straight down, and it truly executes that part of the tricep. Okay, now for me, in the past, I've gotten injured one time doing the dumbbell hammers, but I was in a preacher and I injured some tendons in my elbow. So what I did was, out of fear basically, I laid off from it for years. But then I studied the angle and what it did for the bicep, making the bicep thicker. So there was a long time that my arms were basically lagging. But when I put the hammers back into it, and I started out light, and I understood the range of motion, the proper range of motion, and the full extension of the exercise, itself, and how to execute it, it really made a tremendous difference in my bicep, and it added a lot of fullness to it. As when we're standing up on stage for prejudging, that front stands, it means a lot. So if you got thickness in that bicep and the front delts, it just gives a total different illusion. Okay. Keep throwing this out to y'all. By now, this nation knows I'm 46, okay? But I keep putting it out there, is that, when you reach this age level, you don't normally see the type of changes you're seeing at a consistent level, time and time again. Another thing, a lot of competitors ask themselves, well, you know what, everybody's entitled to hitting their peak, okay? Well, what I'm doing is I want to set the record straight and do a series of contests, so to speak. I'm on a tour right now. That's one of my dreams, to compete once a month somewhere, because I feel great all the time. Now, the kind of condition that you're seeing in the gym, as training biceps, doing legs and everything, not one time have I drastically lowered my carbs to even 75 grams, 25 grams, not even for one day, not even for 6 hours. The thing is a maintain stability of getting 2% and below 2% body fat, which a lot of these days it's unheard of in natural bodybuilding. To be able to maintain that and feel good at 2% body fat. That's the big thing. Not only do we love doing what we do, but I'm telling you right now, in this day and time, there are competitors out there that are searching, that have searched just like me, that's saying, you know what, I want to feel just as good as I look. Because when that happens, you have a dynamic force within you that just people get drawn to you, and they want what you have, to where you can express to them what you have in just a great way that people know that you're for real.